the Manipur crisis enters its fourth month, today we look at the untold story of the Meitei Pangal or Manipur's Muslims. I'm Barkha Dutt, you're with the Mojo story. As you know, for the last several months, we have been focusing on the situation in Manipur, where there seems to be no respite from the ethnic conflict. Caught in the middle of clashes between the Meitei community and the Kuki tribal community is the story of Manipur's Muslims, also known as the Meitei Pangals. They have attempted to remain neutral in this conflict. They have also attempted to play the role of mediator between the two communities. But now their leaders are appealing for a direct intervention by the Prime Minister. They say their attempts at mediation have not worked. They also are scared for their own security. Although Meitei Pangals have not been directly targeted in this conflict, which is essentially one between the mostly Hindu Meitei community and the mostly Christian Kuki community, and there is now a de facto division between the valley areas, that's Imphal and other areas, and the hill areas. The fact is that the community is now worried about what might happen to their safety, their prospects. After all, there are mixed neighborhoods as well. And in early August, 3 Meiteis were killed in a town of Bishnupur that has a 91% Muslim population. To talk about this untold story, we're joined now by Raees Ahamed Tampak. He's a leader representing his community, also representing the United Meitei-Pangal community, bringing together all the different leaders of his community. Thank you so much, Raees sir, for joining us. Let me start by asking you, what worries you the most? Now, we've been in Manipur on the ground, and in fact, I should tell you that for journalists to get from hill to tribal areas, the only way we could do that is because people of your community were kind enough to drive us. There was no other way. So the first thing you told is that your driver has to be from the Meitei Pangal community. Those are the only people today who can cross over from a Meitei area into a Kuki area, from a Kuki area into a Meitei area. Now, so far, of course, the members of your community have not been targeted. What scares you today? What concerns you today, sir?
First of all, thank you so much for having me, Barkha. And first of all, when it comes to, you have rightly pointed out that we are the only community who can access both the communities area. However, you know the situation because you have already reported ground zero since the crisis has been erupted. But as a community, which is been since last 400 plus years of our existence in the state, we are also very much part of this war-like situation in the state. But unfortunately, from 3rd of May 2023, this particular classes, this particular war-like situation, we as a community in particular and state in general has completely failed all possible institutes, firms, businesses, and most importantly, Barkha, we are completely shattered when it comes to mentally. That is really a very what to say hardship to digest what is actually happening in our state.
When you say we are completely shattered, what scares you the most? You say we are completely shattered. What is terrifying you the most?
The terrifying is most like misunderstanding between both the communities, like our big brother Meitei communities, our Kukizo communities. They are sometimes blaming to us. Especially you have already mentioned like 91% of that particular area that is called Kwakta. That
Yes.
is a declared kind of like buffer zone between Kukizo and the big brother Meitei community, where all the possible warlike situation is mostly happening. So in that juncture, our role is very difficult, very difficult. So this in this juncture, we really wanted to be a very much part of like peace process rather to like siding one another. That is
Yeah.
our
In fact, I just want to tell our audience two things that you've referred to. In early August, in a town of Bishnupur, which is dominated by your community, 91% Muslims, three Meiteis were actually killed, and that really terrified you because the majority community in that town of Kwakta were Muslims, were Meitei Pangals. Also, you say that you have tried to play the role of a peace mediator. That effort has failed. Can you tell us a little bit about what you have tried to do? Have you tried to make the two communities talk? The other thing, as you know, is both communities have guns. We have more than 4,000 weapons in civilian circulation. So even your people can get caught in the crossfire. I remember when we were driving with our driver from Imphal to Kangpokpi or Churachandpur, he was very scared. He said even if we are not targeted, we can get caught in the crossfire.
exactly, exactly. But that is the real thing. Like mistrust, the trust deficit is very huge. Something happened, yeah, like yesterday, day before yesterday, for example. Some I will give you instances. One particular Meitei Pangal from our Meitei Pangal community, who is right now running a pharmacy, chemist
Mhm.
shop in a district called Chandel,
Yeah.
and he has all the documents, but unfortunately, um, that particular person is caught and checked by some our big brother Mitei and misunderstood. They are like this medicines are because of like cookies. You why you this this why you do that. Then later on they realize and sort it out through our United Meitei-Pangal Committee. That is the first instance which we caught. And this kind of incidents, we have huge misunderstanding between both the communities. To us, that is really scare us seriously as a responsible and accountable community in the state. That is the most important concern, as you rightly pointed out.
What would you describe the situation to be like right now? We are now in the fourth month of this crisis. We have seen some amount of violence that has taken place even in the last 2 or 3 days. How is the situation now? I know from personal experience that you can't get from point A to point B if you're a Meitei or a Kuki. You can't go into each other's areas. And I know everybody's armed. I know light machine guns and assault rifles are part of what's in civilian control. What is the situation right now at this moment?
The situation right now, everyone is completely like defunct when it comes to their businesses, when it comes to like some part of the areas like Imphal, some part of like some districts which is really not affected, they are properly running. However, when it comes to the most affected areas like Bishnupur district and other districts like Churachandpur, Tengnopal, then other parts of the like Thobal district, we have a huge problem. I can say there are so many trust deficit between the communities, but we are trying our best. United
Hmm.
Meitei-Pangal Committee is doing our best to like bridge those gaps between the communities. Most importantly, when it comes to our community.
Now tell me, who do you blame for this situation? Right? The point is that there have been. Let's also first understand that we're talking about your people being less than 10% of the population. Although I read today that the first chief minister of Manipur was a Meitei Pangal. So the point is that there is a long history that you have within the state. But do you think the state needs president's rule? Do you think what do you think is the way forward? A lot of people say Biren Singh has to go. A lot of people say heads must roll. What do you think?
For us, for United Meitei-Pangal Committee Manipur, thinks that center is responsible for all those like happening right now because as far as you know that the no confidence motion happened in the parliament uh,
Mm,
in this month and since last week of July till first week of August, where we have already witnesses that all the opposition entire country knows and the whole world knows about what is actually happening with in the state. And the center already clarify, Honorable Minister of Home Affairs clarify that um, everything is like trying their best to like handle all possible situations. But unfortunately, why center is still not able to calm down the situation? That is our main concern, because as far as Home Minister is concerned, he already said our Honorable Chief Minister of Manipur is cooperating with the center. So he himself clarify the voice of all the opposition MPs
But a
voice,
lot of
which
a lot of a lot of people don't agree. I was talking to an army veteran just yesterday, and he said he felt the Biren Singh government was misleading the center, was giving wrong information. What do you think about this whole infiltration allegation, for example? The data, of course, tells you from 2021, approximately 2,000 people have come in from Myanmar. The bulk of them have gone into Mizoram, not into Manipur. Do you believe that it's fair to brand the Kuki community as outsiders, narco terrorists? What do you see as the role of the drug trade in this entire crisis?
in this regard, we need to, as a accountable and responsible committee, we need to assess on that particular data on public domain, because yes, there are a lot many things happening. You have already said on that
Yes.
situation, but when it comes to us, that is really uh, we really think that this is not the right time to reveal all those datas, all those happenings in the valley
The
or in
the
uh,
the Meitei the
elsewhere.
Meitei the Meitei protesters are calling for an NRC. Do you support that demand?
We really wanted to be peace in the state. That is the main motive to form a committee called United Meitei-Pangal Committee.
Okay. What do you want the next steps to be? As a member, a leader of your community who represents nearly 10% of Manipur, who's tried to bring peace between the warring factions, what should the next steps be? What does Manipur need the most right now?
That is healing touch to the communities, most affected communities in the state, especially to our big brothers who also has the same situation, like lost their lives, their valuable like assets like house and other, and the same thing with our cookie brothers. So we as a community, as a major community, which really wanted to look forward the peaceful process. That is the main reason we are coming to Delhi and submitted our memorandum to the President of India, PMO, and MHA, the National Commission for Minorities, where we have put all sorts of our concern to with them. So that is
Okay.
the only, so we strongly believe that if the center is really serious on our agenda, because most of the incident which is really happening is unfortunate for us. So we really don't want to stress on other parts of our issues, but
Understand. I understand.
we only focus on the peace process.
Now, in your memorandums to the president, to the home ministry, to the prime minister's office, to the National Commission for Minorities, what response are you looking for from the center at this point?
They have all the capacities, all the mechanisms to calm down the situation, because we know that India is one of the largest democracy, and we as an Indian should not feel ignored from their end.
Yes.
So
How much do the people of Manipur want the prime minister? Right now, Mr. Amit Shah is trying to meet various groups. But a lot of people I met in Manipur say, why doesn't the Prime Minister come and visit Manipur? Is that something that you have also conveyed or want to convey?
Exactly. Our honorable Prime Minister of India is really pride for whole country, but unfortunately, since this is the fourth running month, but
Mhm.
unfortunately, any credible word from their side is already in the public domain. That is not happening on the ground. So there should be at least something which is really credible to protect the uh, crisis in Manipur and a very, very calm and a very peaceful environment in our state. That is the need of the hour and should
Well,
at least, yeah.
yes, I hope your words do reach the Prime Minister, because if there's one thing that all of the communities in Manipur agree on right now, all are looking towards the Prime Minister for his intervention. All believe that if the Prime Minister were to personally get involved, somehow even make a trip to Manipur, then things could get better. So let's see what happens in the next few weeks. Thank you so much, Raees Ahamed Tampak, Manipur's Meitei Pangal leader of the United Meitei-Pangal Committee, the untold story of Manipur's Muslims saying we are shattered, we are scared, we're also part of this war. We've tried to broker peace, but we failed. Now we want the center to take over this attempt. Thank you, sir, and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Barkha, for having me here once again. And at least we are at least able to address our concerns, and we really want peace in our state. That is the most priority thing right now, and we really wanted to be part of that peace process, whatever we can with our capacity. So that is
Yes.
the only thing we would love to address. Uh,
It's important to hear people talk about peace. So I thank you for coming and talking about peace in the midst of this strife. Thank you, sir, and take care. It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.